Hi, welcome back to Burning River Bushcraft. Hunting season's finally upon us, and today I thought I'd share with you my Dove Decoy setup. So one of the most important things to look for setting up your Dove decoys is location. Now, this is on a slight rise, so the decoys are going to stand out from a greater distance. Also, just behind where the decoys are set up is at a pond. So that's something doves need. Also, along the edge of the pond, there's a lot of small rocks. So doves like to hang out around pond areas or gravel roads to get grit, just like a chicken does. So it took me a little while to find a system that worked for me. The Dove decoys, the modern style Dove decoys, have a clip, like a clothesline clip. So these clip into branches real easy. They also have, a small eyelet on top where you can run a cord through. Problem is, in my field, my location, I'm setting up in an open field all the time. So I did try, digging a little hole in the ground and taking limbs and basically making trees right around here, and that worked, but the doves actually land on it while you're not hunting. So I leave these set up, not the decoys, but I leave the structure set up all the time. So they don't last that long. So the next evolution I went to is a tripod. This works great. You can see the different heights by the different sticks that I use. That lets me have a bolder silhouette of a dove at different heights. Again, that's going to stand out more. Doves are going to see it from a greater distance, and I'm going to be able to pull them in. So this is my latest modification, and this works great. I actually came into this by accident. I had my son and some friends out here camping for the night. Again, open field setup, so I had 2 tripods with a ridge line running across. I draped a tarp over that in an A-frame fashion, and that worked out real well for them. I left it set up, and as I was getting ready for the dove season, I saw bird droppings all over this bank line. So they're definitely roosting here. It kind of gives them a natural setting where there isn't really much in this wide open field. So to get the birds, to get my decoys on the bank line to make it look more realistic, I was able to, again, you can't just hook it right on the line itself, because then I end up with bats, not doves. But I've got a small stick here. This is about thumb size diameter, and the clip is actually able to grab the stick and the rope at the same time. And then I've got it anchored back into the tripod wedge to keep it from spinning. So this works good. Again, it lets me spread my decoy set out instead of just having them focused on the tripod itself. An extra step I've taken is I've used these eyelets and actually tied dove decoys on with bank line. Now I'm able to slide this up and down the line. I can vary the amount of string I've got so I can have, again, decoys staggered. Makes the set look really nice. Also, any little movement, this bird's moving from the get-go, and then the dangling birds will swing back and forth. So there's a lot of movement, a lot of visibility, high contrast with the birds silhouetted against the sky. This is really pulling the doves in this year. And this is my Mojo dove. This is the centerpiece of the whole set. If I didn't have any other decoys, I could get by with just the Mojo dove itself. What that does, again, it's silhouetted against the sky, but the constant motion is what automatically draws the birds in. Now, certain birds don't like movement. I mean, geese will flare a lot of times from a Mojo dove swinging around like this. But for doves, it just draws them in like a magnet. So the last thing you want to think about is the shooter. You're trying to draw the doves to a location where you can shoot them. So safe direction is imperative with this. Right now I've got about 40 acres behind me before there's another house. My dove blind is 20 yards from this spot. I'm tucked in behind a tree line, so all my doves' flight patterns should be right around this area. I don't have a lot of doves flying behind me. When they do, they usually drop over a tree line and swoop into the decoys. Again, it's a shootable bird for me. But it doesn't do you any good to be watching doves all day and trying to hit 60-yard shots. So a small decoy setup like this doesn't cost a lot of money. I carried in a small shoulder bag. It's fairly inexpensive. And if you haven't tried dove hunting, I highly encourage it. This has been Jamie Boggs with Burning River Bushcraft. See you next time.